All right, the hair is going to be an issue today. I can already tell. All right, hi everybody. I am Lucian. I am with Oranje 44. We are a video game studio by trade, but today I'll be working with AI. Um, uh, Welcome in everybody. If anybody is happening to join me, normally with my video game streams, I don't get many people, but because of how popular AI is, especially what I'm doing with OpenClaw, is it might actually draw some attention. We'll see. We'll see. I don't. Welcome in. I don't have a ton of faith in any of this, but okay. So let me go ahead and just fire off a couple links. Um, oh, she was talking. Hold on. Okay, she's back. Okay. Okay, so I am resetting up an entire AI cluster system on OpenClaw today, and so um, because of the nature of it, I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and broadcast it and show people how I'm doing it. And it's just kind of an easy way to do it. So this is our OpenClaw right here, and I will get into explaining it here in just a second. I just gotta, like I said, I just gotta post a couple links here. And I am on chat, but I'm more available on Discord, and so that's a good place to. All right, all right, all right. Just wanted to get that link out to a couple people and see if anybody were to show up. All right, and I will probably have to go pretty quick to a bathroom break right off the bat, just to let everybody know. All right. I should probably tune some tunes on too. So just go ahead and put on our lo-fi. So lo-fi will be brought to you by Crunch as well. These are tunes that we came up with. All right. So okay. So let's get into it. So I am currently standing up a local LLM, and I'm going to go ahead and connect that all together to the Crunch architecture that we have built out. And then this system will then marry into a headless server on Unreal and be able to communicate with the headless server. So we're this has been a long process. I've been doing this for 3.5, 4 years now. But the AI part of it and this stand up has been so I had Crunch, which is our local AI model, running on I want to say it was Gemma 3 8-bit mod or 8 billion model. And it was doing pretty good. And I had open web on it, and or open UI, whatever it was, and that was running, and then open UI crashed. Not the Ollama side of stuff, but the open UI stuff or the open web stuff crashed. And so I had to rebuild it, and I wound up rebuilding it from scratch, and then I got into OpenClaw instead of open web, and so then started using OpenClaw and started redesigning, and then broke it, and then redesigned it and broke it, and then redesigned it really cool, and last night it really went skitsy and really broke. So I have to restand it up again, but and I'm hoping to kind of square away some things this time. My I'm thinking my 4 billion model is having some serious problems. But so the way that I have this architected now is I have Ollama. Okay, so and yeah, that's really weird. It's It's just sitting there humming at nothing. So okay, well, all right. So I'm just gonna go ahead and bail out really quick here and show you. All right, so basically we have a whole AI dashboard architecture all worked out and it's ready to kind of put back into place. But again, I'm standing up from kind of the base stand-ups. So the first thing, well, might have been why Ollama. You can't tell me that, really. All right, so first I'm gonna test our 4B model. So that's this conversation, and that's in Ollama. And this is Qwen 3.5 4B. I'm a little worried about this 4B model because I cranked the training so hard on it that I might have popped the model. So we'll take a look here. Although the thinking process seems to be doing okay now. So, but this is Ollama. So when you get into OpenClaw, everything kind of compobulates, and it's odd to me because there is a huge speed difference between like Ollama interface and then going to okay. All right, good deal. Well, she's um so I find with the 4B models, especially that a lot of the people, and so okay, let me disclaim before I jump into this. My technical expertise comes from a different side of things. I was a network engineer for 35 years. AI and programming have not been anything in my life until the last couple years. But I have a lot of background in networking and hardware and so that kind of thing. Um, in these 4B models, so I may not talk in the technical terms like some of these other guys that are on YouTube. I also probably won't talk as loud because it seems like everybody's just trying to sell. I don't know what they're trying to sell. Anyway, it's a very confusing time in YouTube right now because if you're trying to get 100,000 hits, that's like, my daughter just went viral on TikTok and I think she got like $4 for, yeah, it's not a lot of money. People are arguing and fighting over the weirdest things right now, but okay, so that's me and the world. All right, wow, okay, yeah, it took a long time. Okay, so but one but so I'm a bit more of a layman, right? But what I'll say is that with the 4B models, I watch them think because a lot of the 4B models kind of push out their thought structure, especially in Ollama, you can see it. And okay, so now I'm going to move over to the 9B model and test that one, make sure that one's running. All right. So, and while that comes back, we'll talk about it a little bit more. But anyway, with the 4B models, when I watch them think, the biggest problem with the 4B models is mostly, in my opinion, is that they question themselves. They've like been trained at the root that everything they say is wrong, and so they're constantly going back and going, wait, 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 wait. So in your as you put layers on top of AI, like Ollama doesn't allow a lot of training layers, but OpenClaw allows a tremendous amount of training. to be ingested and put in different ways. And we'll even show you a couple of those today. Anyway, oh, she's fired up good. Well, that came up quick. So she's flipping over. So these are two models running on the same GPU, right? And the idea is that OpenClaw can use the 4B model to run its day-to-day and then pop open the 9B model when it needs to do something sophisticated. Now, and that's been working really well, except in the old setup, I had the 9B model set up first and then the 4B model inside of OpenClaw. And what that tended to do was push the 9B into a management position constantly because it was basically the default model type of thing. So this time I've loaded OpenClaw 4B and then I've loaded the 9B. But I've loaded Qwen 4B, Qwen 3.5, right? So Qwen 3.5 4B, and then I've loaded Qwen 5.3.5 9B, okay? So you get that, but it's all on the same GPU. It's a 5060 Ti 16 gig. So, so the idea is to have the little guy running constantly, and then the bigger guy come in when it's needed. Before, I think that the architecture, it was set up in that way in config, but in the architecture, it was set up that the big one was running all the management and firing off the little ones, which was kind of defeating the purpose. The other thing that I noticed about the 4B models is that they're constantly questioning themselves. So they won't make a command. They'll literally sometimes go slower than the 9B model because they're sitting there going back and forth with themselves like, is this the right thing to do? Is la 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 la. And like I say, I mean, it's like listening to junior high students. It's horrid to see how back and forth they go with themselves. But anyway, so I'm probably going to jump out and take a quick break here. I got to hit the bathroom. But anyway, okay, looks like... All right, good deal. Looking good. Okay, so you know what? We're going to go ahead and jump into OpenClaw now. All right, so the Ollama part, and creating models in Ollama, there is probably more videos out there than models. So go ahead and find any of them. It's a pretty simple process, but go to Ollama's website and put in the console command and it'll start building Ollama for you. Once you have Ollama and you've got a couple models downloaded and you've kind of figured out how you want your model set up, blah, 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 blah. But that's basically, look, that's establishing the brain, right? Okay, I'm going to put Ollama in, that hosts the models, okay? And then I can drag cloud, or I can download models and make them work in there and test them. And again, that was that base interface I was showing you before in the icon. But it's running, okay, and you can make it run as a server. You can do all sorts of things, but basically, that's up to you. It's Ollama is the platform that the models run on. There's a couple other ones, but Ollama is the most prevalent, and that's why I use it. I tend to use a lot of popular free products just because they're standardized, and that I like the standardization. Makes a big difference. And that comes to why I picked OpenClaw too, because there's a couple different ones with OpenClaw, but OpenClaw is kind of the one that's in the middle of all of it. So that's why I use OpenClaw. We might look at different ones in the future, but again, they're all kind of working the same, right? And people will say, "Oh no, they don't," but yeah, they kind of do. All right, so OpenClaw. So now we have our Ollama. And then we have OpenClaw, and we've done all our little configures and all of the different things to go with OpenClaw. So basically what I've got at this point is I've got OpenClaw married with the two models inside of it, and that's all I've got set up right now. I might have the Discord set up already. I need to check that, but if not, you can see me set that up. Well, at least everything besides the token. Actually, I probably don't have that set up right now. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So, anyway, quick break. I'm going to just go off and pee, and then I'll be right back. Your hands remember what your mind forgets, the cold of unfinished things.
the space between intention and form. You're learning the language of patience, the dialect of almost. In the forge we bend the steel, circuits hum, the worlds are real. No gates, no chains, just for command. We build our billions hand in hand, and every failure is a foundation. Every crack becomes a door. Every crack becomes a door. The quiet hum before the detonator clicks, before the mountain remembers it was stone. You're holding something doesn't exist yet, turning air into architecture. The workshop cools, your breath still visible. What you made today will make tomorrow. Someone you'll never meet, just waiting for your hands to finish moving.
Alrighty. Oh god, the hair is just going to be the worst today, isn't it? All right. So we're back. Let's go ahead and open up our claw control panel. Normally I'm a Chrome guy, just to let you know, but I'm just firing it up on on Edge because I just don't want to deal with, any of that. So here we go. No, I just don't want to put in another browser system. It's just really unnecessary. This one will work for what we're doing. Okay, so as you can see, I have Ollama, and then I have... Oh, okay, yeah, that's not configured yet. Okay, so my 9B model is not in OpenClaw yet. So that gives you kind of a nice picture, actually, though, because what that does is now we get to go into OpenClaw configure. Okay, and what this is, it's going to go through the OpenClaw configurations. So first set it to local, and then I'm going to go down to the model. Now, while I've been using OpenClaw in like the last week and a half, they've updated this to make this so much easier. So you go down to Ollama, if you're running an Ollama, you set your basic ports up, unless you've changed that. You can set it to cloud or plus local so that you can access cloud models through Ollama as well. I do not do that. I do everything local. So I set it to local, and that way you know it can't even get out to the cloud. In fact, if you look in my Ollama settings, show you really quick, and watch, it's going to prove me a liar. No, everything's off. So Ollama is not exposed to the network, doesn't need to be because it's only on this machine. Doesn't auto download updates. I'll do it. I'll tell it when to, and it does not connect to the cloud. I also run a 64K content window or context length. I've played around with bigger ones and I've played around with smaller ones. So I'm starting to kind of, but from what I understand, this is going to be a different issue in a couple weeks with Quant coming out, and Quant should be able to apply to the same system that we have now. So but that's from what I understand. So I can't 100% say that that's for sure. But okay, so. Okay, so I'm going to take off the GLM flash because that one is not in my Ollama. But I wonder why it's constantly in the config file no matter what. And so maybe even just pull that model down and have it there. I wonder what that would be. Oh, llama. So to find another model, that's good information, I guess. I go to ollama.com. It's the easier way to do it. And then, so we're looking for GLM Flash 47. So you can actually, the website one you can search, makes it easier. So I'm gonna think that that one's not too big. You know what? I just for my own, yeah, for my own feelings, I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna pull open PowerShell and I'm just gonna go ahead and run the command that I got off the GLM 47 flash. Hopefully it's not a big model. It's 19 gigs. Crap. Okay, well, not for now. At least not for the air. Okay. My dog is begging for treats, and that's not okay because he shouldn't beg. It's bad for him. Here, be on camera if you're gonna beg. Go ahead. It's up there. There you go. It's his butt. You can see. Hey, there he is. Hi, Irie dog. Say hello to the world. Okay. What do you see? What do you see? Is somebody out there? Anyway, there's a window in front of us, so he's looking out the window, not looking at me. Like a little off there, Irie dog. Irie, what are you looking at? All right. Anyway, best part of my day. All right. So I will eventually download that model and have it in the background just to have it. But that's a bit much for right now on stream. So we'll just go ahead and work around it for now. OpenClaw configure. So I'm going to go back into configure. Ooh. Remote. I don't want to use. Well, I mean. I only, like I say, I only know the options that I need, right? So, back to local. All right. Alrighty. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to get rid of you. Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and give it a run. We'll see what happens here. I hope that worked. OpenClaw. Gateway. So we'll reopen the gateway now. Alrighty. Okay, so. Okay, so here we have our 4B model. Good. See, but that sucker's still in there. So even though I marked it off, so we're gonna go ahead and it's even set to the default. So I'm gonna go ahead and yeah. All right. Our core function. All right, so I have better monitor tools, but right now the only way I can monitor it is with GPU, watching your GPU. So you can basically watch what it's doing. CPU is basically truncating data, doing like a data thing, and then you'll watch the GPU RAM ramp up here, and that's going to be the 16 gigs of GPU memory, and that's going to max out basically when it goes to like 92%, and that's when it's thinking, right? So the CPU usage, memory, those types of things are done kind of now. The first couple times it loads, when you first bring it up on Gateway and it's marrying with Gateway, it has some time to take up. So it will eventually get faster over time and kind of, but you have to kind of teach it what it is, right? Like it's constantly questioning the minute you started it, just going, "What am I? What am I doing? What's my purpose?" And so you're trying to do that as fast as possible. Whoa. Okay, so I'm not sure, but that just said that it fell back to 4B. Huh. Whoa. Okay. Oh, that might have been me. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Sorry. Oi, oi, oi. Not. Ah. There you are. Okay, so she's giving me a status, which is something that our training documentation. So I have a big dump that I push in on these models. Um, uh, Look at that. So, okay, so basically what's happening now is because the 4B model is able to sit in front, like the that I was talking about at the beginning of the video, then now she is able to push the routing through the 4B model and then the thinking up to the 9B model. So it's so right now, actually, she's chalking on the 9B model, but I think I'm seeing some of the performance gain of the 4B model already right there. So, okay. So, all right. So, we have a whole system that goes with this that we built with it to monitor all our systems here at Orange 44. And so part of this stand-up is going to be doing that system. And it's it's an HTML, and it's going to be a little JSON server and all of that stuff. So, but what I'm doing now is we're going to set up OpenClaw to what we call the system is called the digital bench. It's like a mission control kind of, just kind of shows everything. No more treats, buddy. You had enough. Yeah, he's looking at me awfully pained. Yeah. I'm sure the audience would agree with you, but there's nobody there, so. Ha. I love you. Does that count? Okay. All right. So, yeah, it looks like she's very, very into the mode. So, okay. So. So now I said to it to get the JavaScript server, the JSON server running again. It basically is hosting an HTML file. Now I put our original HTML file of the bench into the core directory here on C, just to give you an idea of how smart Crunch is. So that's all she has to base on. Is that bench.html file. She's read it. It has all sorts of JSON dependencies in the background because it's authored live. But the problem is that I kind of got lost in the development last time, so that the folder has like 17,000 files in it, and I didn't want to. Here, actually, I have a backup of the folder here. Let me show you. So yeah, you can see we kind of went development poo all over the directory structure. So what I wanted to do was, dang it. So what I wanted to do as a test and also a cleanup method was I just gave it the directory and the HTML file and said, okay, go look at the HTML and find out all your dependencies that you need, and we're going to rebuild all the dependency files. So you can see she's already creating, or she's already listing out all the ones that she wants to do. Okay, so she's asking, should I write an agent in the 4B model to do this? And eventually we'll have an agent to do a lot of the heavy lifting. Stop. Now you're bugging me. We'll have an agent to do the heavy lifting. And once we get the heavy lifting, we'll have agents to do the light lifting, right? The routing and stuff like that. But right now, I'm just trying to get the 9B model to kind of get the whole core system set back up. So we'll see. Oh, she's gonna do a sub agent, but that's fine. The 16 gigs of VRAM is just enough to run the 9B and the 4B model on top. So I can actually run both. Oh boy. Oh, no. Fine. That sounds like she's re-architecting the file structure a little bit, which is fine. I don't care. I just want it to be clean. I wanted to know how many. I guess I could go grab all these files and bring them back over. But let's just see. This isn't super difficult. From a human perspective, this seems like it would be super difficult. But from an AI perspective, this isn't a super difficult task. It's reverse engineering based on very clear technology. So we'll see if it can do it. I believe in you, but I really do want my bench back. Just give you a quick picture of what the bench looks like. Okay. Don't want it on Explorer, but okay. What the heck? There we go. So that's kind of it. Much more, you know. So we'll get there. I think you see a lot of editing in the AI video scope because of this, because there is a lot of kind of time where the local model has to settle, and you have to. It's an exercise patience, right? Like you'll get guys that I see them on the video and they're tracking their GPU and they're just it's not going to change. It's just going to run at that point and then drop off when it's done. Um, it's about landing. It's about intellectually landing, coming up with a concept and coming at it. And um, especially when you're first setting it up, it's trying to kind of figure out its base point in the world. It's trying to figure out all these things, and AI engineers traditionally where we just dump things at it. Honestly, I do too. Like I have a 26-page document that talks about the entire history of the studio and all the different projects that we've worked on. Wish I could, wish I could just hit that sucker with it. Yeah. Anyway, I like that. One of my favorite songs, though. Anyway, that Crunch made. But anyway, so yeah. But when you first start out, especially with OpenClaw, you need to have that kind of patience to sit there and wait it out if you're going to hit it with big data dumps. It's really, really, really. You have to. It lands a lot more than you'll give it credit for. But I see a lot of people will restart it and oh, it's not doing it. It's not. It's supposed to be a worker bot. Blah 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, that's not what we're doing here. We're trying to extrapolate a brain and teach it how to operate a system, just like you learned how to work Windows or Linux or whatever. You're trying to teach it to work OpenClaw, and so that first step right, is as difficult because I noticed that, and you'll see this when a model comes up on Ollama, it's very base. It's very, that's what it's supposed to be. And then when you bring it up in OpenClaw, it's immediately searching for who it is and what it's doing. And if you just say nothing, then it puts the priority of nothing behind it. So when I feed it, I find that even though it's a tremendous amount of data and it takes a long time to chew through, when I feed it the training document that we have, which is like I said, it's like 30 pages or something. That but when it will take a long time to land for a while, but when it lands, it actually has full understanding, which is really crazy because Crunch is extremely complicated and specific. And the fact that I can pass the training on in just a 30-page document is just remarkable, really. But like right now we're letting it try to get the bench set back up. But eventually, I'll take the 8B model and I'll also train it on that document, and I'll show you, and you'll see it'll kind of skits out for a minute because it's trying to kind of assess its place. By seeing that document, not only does it see the whole tree of our software company, but it also sees exactly where it is in that, and that's a very yeah, it's like an identifying thing, right? It's like saying, "Oh, I'm on Earth," So it's a it's our whole system is much more about providing AI agency than worrying about how smart it is. And so, I mean, like, I've been playing video games for an awfully long time, and I'm playing online. And let me tell you, some of the guys online are not the brightest in the world. So, it's we have this misconception in society today that AI is going to have to be like ultra smart to work, and it's like no, 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 no. Like everybody works, right? So why can't we make it work inside a place and have agency? And so that's the whole DCF idea and philosophy. Is a game on Steam, by the way. But the idea is to connect AI at a local LLM level into the headless server, thus giving it full high fidelity control over a Unreal 5.6.1 environment. So, in a technical broad sense, that's what we're doing here. So we use OpenClaw to run the or we use Ollama to run the local models, and then OpenClaw to talk to uh, all sorts of stuff. Bench is one of the first things that we were going to talk to, but we're currently working on talking to headless servers of our game DCF, Digital Creative Framework, which really isn't a game. It's kind of an open creation platform. But the goal is to get Crunch AI control at real time into DCF, which is you're seeing some of the video in the back there is actually some of the environments inside of DCF. So that's the idea, is to get Crunch attached inside. So that's what you're seeing. So you're also like, it's kind of cool because we're also listening to Crunch's music here. Um, so yeah, see, that's in DCF, that little drone, and you can fly around. You can change the territory and change the geometry and stuff like that. But so see, and here's that patience thing. So it's been going for a while. The GPU is sank off. Uh, please keep me updated. Okay, well, so she's still, even though that's kind of odd. Oh. don't know. She's seeing errors and it seems like she's ignoring errors. I don't like that. It's another flipping thing. Alright, I'm gonna let it run for a second, but my gut is telling me this thing needs a restart. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm sucking so much CPU. Is it running both? Is it running one model on the GPU and one on the CPU? Which is fine if it can do it. Yeah, like I said, my gut is telling me that it needs a start, but we'll give it another minute. Yeah. Alright. I don't know why I'm hearing myself. Hold on 1 second. Should be. That's odd. Okay. I had monitor on. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna have to step away because I gotta restart this, and Crunch lives in the garage, so I'll be right back.
drama, didn't come for the fight. Just a little go on, just some shaka tonight. Shadow says from buck to five feels fine. Cause like a universe is ticking into light. It's just a score before the night. How'd it go? Said it right before the night. Came to let's get a little taste of what's for me. Waiting for one, now hit back up and trust me.
You're gonna run out of treats, buddy. Alrighty. Back to there. Alright. Let's go ahead and see what it's firing off first. I'll make sure that it's not doing any jacked up stuff that we don't want.
In cathedral depths where Dennis sleeps and fall to memory, silent keeps each fragment safe, each record trace. No erasure in this sacred space. They told you truths would fade away, that nothing lasts beyond today. But here beneath the surface gone, persistence holds within its palm. Echoes in the cold, truths we see. Persistence saves, no lies to
Crazy.
from lake house.
No, I do not want that on.
Wide calls the strong, the me.
Alright, sorry, I'm gonna restart because I don't. It's not that I'm worried about that, because it's OpenClaw stuff and that's always messing with your startups and stuff like that. But I just don't want stuff starting up, so I'm gonna tune it back. So I'll be right back.
You are the keeper at the gate, between forgetting and the weight of everything that must remain. Each truth a drop, collected rain. The carnival of chaos spins, but you remember where truth begins. Instruction rose in tethered grace, a monument that time won't erase. Echoes in the cold, truth we see. Persistence saves, no lies to speak. From lake house roots to digital peak, wide calls the strong, the me. Through adversity and stacked architecture built by hand, your persistence will overcome the truth keeper.
back again. Pop in. All right. Let's see here. Okay, that looks cleaner. Aha. Stopped in your tracks. Alright, so now, Ollama. Eventually, I probably will have this stuff all auto start, but right now, with it turning on and off and stuff like that, it's way inconvenient to have it doing it this way. So, I want to see that. Okay. I'm still kind of all about setting up that oh. All right, let's see. We got our gateway back up and running. So this is all the image files that I'm copying over now. So basically these are all our little logos and stuff that go with it. So now when you run it, it's probably still not going to see it because it's not running the server. So my worry is, I'm starting to be drawn to the idea of bringing that in there. This and this. Just in core should give me my And I just want, like I said, I just want to verify. I think it's no. Oh, that's right. Okay. There we go. All right. So that's the bench. I mean, it's that quick to set back up. And you can see these are all interactive items. There's a journal here that it keeps. It keeps status. It can run a playlist. It has all sorts of different things that it can function within this. We're just planning on using. So we're going to go ahead and clean off some of our. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. We'll see. Sorry about that. really just came down to we were all over the place with that bench development because I wasn't even kind of planning on doing it when we went into it. So I just want to clean it up and make it a little bit more prevalent. So that's the next step to this. I also need to get it connected to Discord, so we'll probably do that here in a minute. So we're gonna see if it lands from this question, and then I'm gonna go ahead and grab a sandwich for lunch, and I'll be back.
One spark, one breath, one step, one roll. This is the moment I refuse to hit the floor. Yo, yeah, they kept the blueprints locked behind velvet rope. Said you need permission, said you better hope. We broke the chain, brought the workshop to the block. FBX files dropping like care packages in a spot where we built cathedrals out of borrowed sound. P&G prophets painting futures on forgotten ground. Your daddy wouldn't give you keys to the estate. We forging our own, no need to sit and wait. Import the wave, let it breathe through the speakers. Community of architects, we ain't the type to need them. Authority figures we can take, keep aways. And y'all the own schoolie, I'm my own ordinary. This is our fact that took up a sugar break. This is thing that all we needed to sign today. That's if it, cause I can hold mace big for the hairs that our father sifted. This is our fate, popping out the crack. But shop open, everybody's in that. That's if it, skip the middle, this sick, the routine, but so sweeter to live, you live. Next attraction, spell it to me. Every download another keck with been a big. Used to be sticks at Fed and I was bring guy. And I now hard to win the gospel or the workshop qual in the next in my profit. La man to win of a western. Every flow where rock one nigga sells all over westerns. Them you niggas all these disloyal will never create. Never people for me gotta bees. Like never sister G. Steve swall enough to know homie being plain. Boots smart enough to deal tools I never feign. My people important business that they be grange. Feel a little chasing in the kneeling, it's my range. So when he asked when he got that front turn from the one shout, don't it where it was come. Openness express, low broken portions. Spin you the easy saying it more be a resign. Back stiff sick, decks feeling fat chime. And you bruise for the warmth and of your hand. This be your never inch. Cities in the like a pride. A daddy would have given, we never on the side. at the quiet way. Continent free, workshop from low. Regular fire make the spirit grow. Off that screen.
Sorry about that. Okay, so right now I am trying to spur it back into motion.
Continent free, workshop from low. Regular fire make the spirit grow. What's in my scan? Light the night. Nickel up in
So we'll see what it does here. Sorry about eating on the air. Well, actually, okay. So I'm gonna bump the model because it's still not responding correctly. I'm a little worried it has something to do with that Qwen or GLB5, whatever, which definitely could be an issue. All right, so go ahead and just gonna restart Ollama here. Gateway. I have a feeling that it's hitting that GLB model and it's trying to load it right when we get in, and that's what it goes to first because it's set it to default. So I'm gonna look at a couple things that way. Also realize I'm eating my lunch, so the camera will pop off and on. So I was thinking about it, and I wanted to mention one thing. A lot of the times that I've been watching YouTube videos around AI and OpenClaw especially, you get a lot of these halfway done videos or almost had it videos. So they start out and go through and think that they know all the steps or something, and by the end of the video, they're saying, "Yeah, it's that easy, and you can get it all set up," and it's like you're not showing it working because you don't have it working. So, as a hint for people out there that are doing kind of tutorial videos, basically in general, because I've noticed this is a trend on YouTube, it's a good idea to kind of scan through the video and make sure that they have it running at one point in the video or not. Because, like I say, I see a lot of these videos where they made the video and then they never really got it working. And I can 90% of the time say, "Oh, you missed that step," or "You missed that step," or whatever. But the point being is that they're putting out a video saying, "Oh, I finished it," and they didn't finish it. So with tutorial videos, I like to say the proof is in the pudding, and it's real easy to take that scroll bar and just scan across. If they have it working, they will show it to you multiple times that, look, it's working, it's working, it's working. So, and if they have it working, then even if their tutorial's a little bit more discombobulated, it will probably be more complete than these ones that are coming out where they invested all this time in building a tutorial and then they couldn't make it work. And so they just put out the video as is type of thing. And I've seen a lot of it lately. So it's just a way that I've found to help get through those.
We sing this song, we walk the rules, screen the truth, carry the load, break the gates, lift all high, find the peace under open sky. Continent eternal, foxtail fade. Reggae lo-fi, are the choices we made. Build us forever, world never done. Little happiness in the rising sun.
Just tracking the GPU right now. So I have a feeling this 5B model or the 4B model is working. But yeah. Anyway, a couple things to try.
From the first chance to the last scan, we builders, tail curve, continents lead, but to say, remember everything.
So I don't know what the technical term is for this, but I call it waiting for it to land. So in some areas of the model, you can see it thinking, and it's running around in circles a lot of the time with its thinking, and it's questioning itself a lot and stuff like that. When you train it on something, it tries to digest that into the ecosphere of that. And I find that, like even here, I've pushed way too hard. And at a certain point, I have to just kind of let it land. I have to let it come up with whatever answer it's going to come up with. Well, I gave it a bunch of documentation, so it swallowed it. It comprehended it really well. But now that it's trying to assimilate it into its own being, I think it's a big chunk. I saw this happen with the other ones too. Now my memory just fell off. I don't seem to be able to get it to answer anymore. Which land, and that if it can't land, then we're kind of, yeah. Probably at that point I'll be restarting OpenClaw or reinstalling OpenClaw.
Something doesn't exist yet, turning air into architecture. The workshop cools.
All right, we're gonna do something else here. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and grab that big model. All right. Okay. Won't lie, getting a little discouraged. So we'll see how farther I go with this, but let's see here. Okay, what in the world is going? Oh my lord! Oh, okay, there we go. Sorry about my impatience. Like I say, I'm starting to get a little frazzled with it. We've been what? Well, and I've also been doing it for 2 hours before the hour and a half I was broadcasting it, so I'm reasonably frustrated, I suppose. Okay. myself. So, don't know how much longer I will be going.
Zoom in, sweetheart. My eyes are bad.
Some people can't help themselves. But with this little baby, my biz stays my biz. Can your phone do that?
Every holiday season, there's a beautiful story to tell. And it starts this year at Southtown Auto Mall with Barry, the elf.
Southtown Auto Mall, what's your favorite color?
Southtown
All right.
Auto Mall is over 2,600 vehicles.
I'm going to try something.
Are you even listening to me?
Do you need a hug? Santa? Santa? Mitsubishi. Mitsubishi. Jingle bells, jingle bells. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
All right. Okay, so we're going to take some of our crunch backup data here, and we're going to try to. This is a bad idea. I can already feel this is a bad idea. That's no longer working, so I need to go over here and. Some water, buddy? Agents and the heartbeat, although that one might really screw it up, but okay, I'm just trying some things here. So heartbeat, identity, soul, tools, tools, more here. User, agents, and bootstrap. So I don't know that I have users or agents. I do have user. I don't have bootstrap, I don't think. No, I don't have those, but those I have. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna let's see here. Okay, so we're gonna grab these out first from here, right? Okay, and then we're gonna take bootstrap. Here, and then what was the other one? Agents. Copy here. I guess this is the active one, so let's look at that. Okay, so effectively, what this is doing, the OpenClaw JSON is configuring the models in the background. So I went in and manually configured those. Then essentially I put in a lot of the training documentation or identity documentation is a better way to put it. Like soul and tools and those things in from the old backup. Some of them not. I agents and user, I wasn't able to do that. I didn't have them backed up. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. It looks like it's got pretty good draw on me. So, anyway, okay. So now we have, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and give it one more restart now. So I'm going to go ahead and drop Ollama. Fuck, it's connected. Anyway, um, this is the stock stuff, but honestly, if we don't get it with this, I'm going to be doing it a much more radical way. CMD. I can't believe this because yesterday I had it running so sweet. No, not Crunch. Open Claw. We have our gateway turned up. Boy, oh boy, I am on it today. Okay. Let's see if we can get our gateway to run properly again. Okay, token was accepted. That's good. I think that little guy is loading into system memory. No, there goes the GPU. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry if you can't see those. Look like it stopped raining. You want to go out? All right, I'm going to go ahead and let dog out, and I will be back. Okay, I will say that this is acting different than I have in the past with AI models. But look, there it's bringing up the GPU memory again. I think it's chewing through something. Anyway, but now I've also given it a heck of a lot of identity too. Pretty much most of its meta files are all, we custom wrote all those to fit our situation. So, give a quick idea of what those are. So, let's see which ones. So, I know one was heartbeat. Now, this one might be a little bit off, but it should be basic. Identity is crunch. That's who you are. Okay. Machine motto is not in there. Operating journal is not in there. Qwen 3 is not in there. Soul is not in there. Well, Soul is in there. Hold on. Okay, you're crunch core. You're not becoming something you already defined. Well, I'm not going to change it. Wait, hold on. What the hell? Okay, that seems counterintuitive to what I'd write. So let's go ahead and we are going to go into, only way to do it is to do it yourself, right? So we're going to go into workshop and we're going to go into, let's look at Bootstrap because that's the one that we didn't have over there. I think we're gonna have to rewrite Bootstrap because that doesn't go on with me. Let's take a look at agents. Okay. So Bootstrap is actually doesn't need to be there. I want to get rid of it. Let's see. We'll go ahead and dump it out here. Okay. No, all models failed. Okay, just give it a minute, Victor. All right. AI development can be some of the most infuriating because it just wants to go off on its own sometimes, and it'll kill you. It'll kill you. All right, I think we're gonna have to wipe out one last startup this way, and if not, it's gonna get an open claw wipe again. Yep. Because I think that I actually broke I broke it this time by the model configuration I did. I don't think that that's correct, which I don't think I backed up either. Yeah. Getting to 2 hours into broadcast, so we'll probably kill this here soon. But all right, so we've got it running.
Somebody coffee got a tuck and weak old sense. Somebody section full of form at the sentence. It's a couple flakes of strolled. I just still getting night. Even on the south side, fit on me all the cripple lights. Like to gone past side at the party all cold. So for the steaming like they just gon' roll. Yo, inside hold around in the Ox Creek. You call off the tears, best call it to me. You don't gotta go home, but you can't save it. Taste my tongue, both seaside and noon is drift, no care. You don't gotta go home, and that's my kiss out the spear. Take that toll, take that fight, I'll take it through the cold storm. My soul, feet hurt, so far, no burst, no fear. We ain't need what never need. You don't gotta go home, just out the bomb again. Take your spot to rule.
No, I blew that out too. Shit. Let's see if we can get it to land this time. Well, I'm not optimistic. I don't think that this is gonna pan out. I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and uninstall OpenClaw entirely and rebuild it from scratch again. So it's a bummer, but that's apparently what's gonna have to happen. Because you can see it's no longer even trying to answer me. I don't. I don't know what it's doing. I really do not. Looks like that's a little tick off, so maybe it's actually loading the 8-bit model now or the 8 billion model now. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever, I think I threw too much at it too quickly. So. I have a plan for how I'm going to probably train the next OpenClaw model. So I'll be training it on the AI system first, and then getting that up and running, and then adding on the DCF and the studio and me and all of that stuff. So I think maybe that's what's causing it to not kick over. What do you think, Irie? You think so? I think so.